You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got your weekly Days Prediction edition. As always, my predictions are firmly rooted in known official spoilers for the NBC streaming soap. I'm not just pulling these out of left field. I'm going to tell you my predictions, tell you the spoilers they're based on, and then I cannot wait to hear your feedback and your opinions, whether you agree, disagree. I just like talking days with you guys. So I've got one prediction about Harris, Ava, and Clyde. I have another about Constantine and Teresa, and then another about Stephanie's ex and Chad. Let's dig in, but if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates and news. All right, my first prediction. Harris Michaels is going to save Ava Vitali and take down Clyde Weston. Just as Ava Vitali got her life back, there's somebody who wants to blow it up. You know, DiMera tried to snuff her out, but she ran, found Susan Banks alive, and helped bring her home. Of course, still wanted his mom to press charges, but she refused, and she ordered Elvis Jr. to leave Ava alone. She does not want her son acting mean. So Ava was completely thrilled to be a free woman out of Bayview and making out with Harris Michaels as they agree to start a new relationship. She didn't even get, honestly, one day of breathing room before all heck broke loose because her son, Trip Johnson, was attacked by a junkie at University Hospital. Only it wasn't random. It was a setup. And Clyde Weston called her out to Statesville and told her she's going to be running his drug operation because she ruined his plan. He was going to use Susan to blackmail EJ into running it, but Ava messed it up by bringing her home. So Clyde told her, do this or I will kill your son. So she is under the drug runner's thumb. And the big wrinkle is her new boyfriend, Harris, is also the new cop on the force at the Salem PD. This is a huge conflict of interest, but a spoiler for Tuesday, October 24th, says Ava's threatened by a new muscle, some thug, I think, that works for Clyde, who's ordered to monitor her in her cover job at the bistro. And then on Wednesday, October 25th, official day spoilers say Harris worries when he finds out what is going on with Ava. So I do suspect she's going to come clean to him and look for him to help her find a way out of this dilemma that doesn't put Trip at risk. With Harris being a detective on the force now, he is the perfect person to help her, and help he does. New spoilers from the big Day of Days promo shows Harris and Kate head out to Statesville to ask Lucas Horton to spy for them and get incriminating evidence against Clyde Weston. This should be pretty interesting, and I do predict in the end that Harris is going to save Ava. And as good of a villain as Clyde is, and as much as I love James Reed, I think this guy needs to go in a permanent way, gone for good. Double tap, 2 bullets. No more Clyde, no problems. All right, my second prediction, Constantine and Teresa are gold diggers times 2. It was pretty shocking to see Konstantin Meleounis at Theresa Donovan's door on Friday for many Days viewers. I mentioned the other day in a Days video, I thought that he was going to be the person who showed up at her door. And then I got chastised in the comments by some of you saying they don't even know each other. But lo and behold, they do. You guys have to remember, Days does stuff like this all the time, and then they clear it up in the flashbacks later, so you can't really ever say, oh, that couldn't happen because, logic doesn't apply. So Teresa and Constantine met in Greece, and I suspect, I know, in fact, that he is in on the fact that she rigged the letter to cheat Xander Cook out of the inheritance from his biological father, Victor Kiriakis, and she gave it to Alex Kiriakis instead. Both of the guys are named Alexander Kiriakis as their birth name. But Teresa despises Xander, and she was not going to let him get the satisfaction of having the money, the power, and knowing that Victor was his dad, which when Xander finally finds out, you guys, he's going to be thrilled. So it seems like Teresa and Constantine are both looking to cash in on their new relationships. Constantine has his eye on Maggie Horton, the grieving widow who just inherited a pile of cash from Victor Kiriakis, and Teresa is fully focused on Alex. She even conned Alex into letting her move in with him while convincing him that it was basically his idea. She is a master gaslighter. Monday, October 23rd, confirmed Days spoilers have Teresa and her co-conspirator Constantine discussing their nefarious plans, and that's the same day that he tries to pull a fast one on Maggie Horton. In the Day of Days promo, there's a flashback of Teresa and Constantine in the hotel room back in Greece, pilfering Victor's documents that were in that briefcase and finding out that Xander is indeed Victor's secret biological son. Then things take a turn on Thursday, October 26th, when Teresa finds Alex a bloody mess, which is very interesting because he has a spat with Xander on Monday when Xander comes to confront him about firing Maggie from Titan. Also on Thursday, Sarah airs her frustrations to Constantine, who I think is going to try to get closer to her to ingratiate himself to Maggie. It looks like Constantine is trying to scoop up the widow Kiriakis so he can cash in, and Teresa is doing the same thing with Alex. She made sure by faking that letter that he'd wind up with a fortune, and she is gold digging with the biggest shovel I've ever seen. So will Constantine and Teresa get what they're after? I don't think so. I think they're both going to be caught and exposed, but not quite yet. I think we have a few more weeks of them running this con. All right, my third and final prediction is that Stephanie's ex pushes Chad to poop or get off the pot. So as I predicted, Blake Berris is back to Days of Our Lives, and he's playing a whole new character named Everett. And here's an interesting little tidbit. The writers didn't reach too far to choose his character name. It's actually Blake Berris's real middle name. His full name is Blake Everett Berris. So he's not just Stephanie Johnson's ex-boyfriend. Everett is also Jada Hunter's ex-husband. That was from back when Jada was a beat cop, based on a photo of the two of them seen in the Day of Days promo that she shows Rafe, and it's her in her beat cop uniform, you know, the blue shirt, the black slacks. And I do expect that Everett showing up in Salem is because he's intent on winning Stephanie back, and that's going to send Chad into a jealous rage. But I think this jealousy of Chad should be a red flag for Stephanie. Remember how jealous Chad was when Alex was sniffing around and flirting? Chad was acting like a Neanderthal, marking his territory. But then when Alex kind of moved on, focusing on his fling with Teresa, then Chad started rejecting Stephanie and pushing her away. With Everett in town, per official Days spoilers, on Friday, October 27th, then all of a sudden, we've got Chad being attentive again. This is not a good look for him. It's like Chad DiMera only wants Stephanie when someone else wants her. Then he withdraws when there's not someone to fight over her with. Maybe Stephanie needs to just push him away. There is one scene in the new promo that shows what looks like her out on a date with Everett in Horton Town Square. So I'm also extremely curious if Everett is a good guy or a bad guy, considering how good Blake Berris is at playing bad. Remember how rotten Nick Fallon was. So I do think that Chad is going to realize he needs to commit to Stephanie or he could lose her. But I don't know if I like him committing to her under pressure. You know, it'd be nicer if it was organic, right? Like it'd be more meaningful if there wasn't a trigger to make him commit. So we'll see. Hey, drop your comments below on these predictions. Let me know if you agree, disagree, if you see it going another way. I read all your comments. I love talking Days with you guys. Drop a like if you enjoyed this, and please subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates. Thanks for coming here to talk Days with me every single day. This has been Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.